Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Rokket Yugioh deck profile for post-Rising Rampage. We received a new few cards for the Rokket deck with the Rising Rampage booster pack. The main card being the cover card for the set, which is actually X-Charge Dragon, the new Exceed monster for Borreload and all the different Rokket monsters. A really awesome card. Couldn't wait to incorporate it into the deck, and I really like the results that I've come up with the deck. And this will also probably be the last update to the Rokket deck I do until the Revolver Structure deck in August. Very excited for that. It's going to add a whole bunch of new awesome support for the Rokket deck, including that Fusion monster. But until then, very excited for the Exceed monsters. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So to start off for the monsters, I run 3 Magna Rokket Dragon. Now, aside from being a very, very good card, Magna Rokket is also a level 4, which is the level of the new Exceed monster, Borreload X-Charge Dragon. So I want to focus a good number of level 4s in the deck just so we can make it easier to summon out that card onto the field. But all the Rokket monsters also have the shared effects. When a Link monster's effect activates and targets this face-up card, you can quick effect destroy this card and then send one monster on your opponent's field to the graveyard. And then if this card's in the graveyard because it was destroyed on the field by battle or card effect and sent there this turn, you can special summon one Rokket monster from your deck except Magna Rokket Dragon. You can only use this effect of Magna Rokket once per turn. But aside from the easy special summon, which all the Rockets share with their effects, you can also send one of your opponent's monsters. It gets around destruction effects against your opponent, which is one thing I love about the Magna Rokket in the deck, and also just being a powerhouse card at 1800, which you can also boost up its attack when you have cards like Boot Sector Launch on the field as well. I also run 3 Metal Rokket Dragon. I did have a lower number of this card before, but this one is another level 4, which a lot of the different Rokket monsters in the deck are different levels, but Metal Rokket and Magna Rokket both being level 4s definitely do help with the overlay power for Borreload X-Charge Dragon. When the Link Summon monster's effect is activated that targets this card, it has the same quick effect destruction effect, and then you destroy all of your opponent's cards in the same column as this card. And during the end phase, if this card's in the graveyard because it was destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to this turn, you can special summon one Rokket except Metal Rokket from your deck to the field. So as long as you know where to special summon Metal Rokket Dragon, you can make full use of this monster in the deck as well. It's one reason why I definitely do like to run 3 of it, because depending where you special summon it, if you have your other monster on the field to destroy it and then use its effect, you can clear a good number of your opponent's cards they may have on the field as well. And I also run 3 Auto Rokket Dragon. This one helps for taking care of your opponent's spell and traps by sending a spell or trap on the field of the graveyard, and once again getting around destruction. And it also shares the same special summon options for your Rockets when they're destroyed. So even if you target it with your Link monster and destroy it off that, you'll get the special summon, and just you can special summon anything aside from Auto Rocket. So another great boost. And I like running it at 3 because spell and traps can be a big problem against your opponent, and Auto Rocket just being one of the other 3 monsters that you can continuously go back and forth with Magna Rokket and Metal Rokket for your special summons is a big key help in the deck for sure. And then for a few lower numbers, I run 2 Ennis Rokket Dragon. This one helps by preventing a monster from attacking and also negating its effects. It doesn't have any destruction effects like Auto, Metal, and Magna, which they are all send effects except for Metal Rokket, so remember that. But still being able to stop your opponent's effects and preventing battle is another key play for this. Plus, it's got the 2200 defense, so a good defensive strategy if you special summon this for the field for your opponent to get around as well. And I run the 1 Shell Rokket Dragon. This is just one that destroys a monster in the same column as it, and then anything adjacent. It's a one-of, but it's a little more, specific for its effect, where you need to have it in that specific column to make full use of the card, which is why I only like to run the one-of when you need it for that situation. It definitely does help, but like I said, only when that situation pops up is the card really that good. And I dropped Rokket Synchron down to 1. We do have a few Synchros in the extract that we run, but we also have Destrudo in the deck, which we're running, that helps very much so with those plays. But I just like to run the 1 of the Rokket Synchron for the additional options for your tuners, depending on what else you have. I like to go with the Rokket Synchron as the tuner to go for against my opponent when I use Destrudo to make a level 7 Synchro, and then I can use Rokket Synchron for that additional Synchro summon, using that Synchro and this one on the field for the plays. And I also run 2 Gateway Dragon. Was debating if I wanted to bump this up since it is a level 4 and we do have a lot of different Link monsters in the format currently. If your opponent controls a Link monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you can only special summon Gateway once per turn this way, and once per turn you can special summon 1 level 4 lower Dark Dragon from your hand. So just being able to summon another Dark Dragon out into the field gives you your overlay right then and there without even having to waste a normal summon. So if I were to bump this card up to 3, might consider removing the Rokket Synchron. It does help with your synchro plays. It was just an option, or you can even try dropping down Anis Rokket if you want to keep the Rokket Synchron in for your synchro plays. But like I said, Gateway at 3, aside from the fact that it is a once per turn for that once per turn special summon, is a big boost for the Exceed plays. And then for a few other generic dragon support, I run 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal. Just another easy special summon to make use of getting rid of your weaker dragons on the field to summon this card out. You can also use some of the guard dragons to special summon this card out much easier by getting them out onto the field. And newly on the ban list, I run the 1 White Dragon Wyver Buster and Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. When you have the Wyver Buster, it's just that easier to summon out and then make use of in the graveyard for your Link plays or even your Exceed plays, and then getting the search off a Collapse Serpent from the field as well. And then banishing Wyver Buster for its special summon is another good play to go for. Sadly, only one-ofs. I know I did run more of the Wyver Buster in the deck, but with them being a one-ofs, that's basically what we have to go with now in the deck. And spoke of the card before, but I run the 1 Destrudo, the Lost Dragon's Frisson, just as an easy special summon, and the Tuner, which adjusts its level based on the monster you had on the field as well, to special summon it out by paying half of your life points. It makes the level 7 play for the Synchro monster, and then you can use your Rokket Synchron to get out Borreload Savage Dragon for that play, which goes very, very well with all your different Link monsters as well. And lastly, for the monsters, I'm trying out 1 DMZ Dragon. The equip effect to boost up your dragons definitely does help, and then giving it the additional attack as well. It's a cool little attack play, also just being another level 4 dragon to make use of. I'm giving it a shot in the deck just for that target effect in your graveyard to equip, giving your other extra deck dragon monsters we run that extra boost that can definitely come in handy. And that is it for the monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. I run 3 Quick Launch, Quick Play spell to special summon 1 Rokket monster from your deck, but it cannot attack. Also destroy it during the end phase. Just giving you that added monster, and then destroying it can help go off of the Rocket's other special summon effects for sure. And it's not a once per turn either, so if you have multiple Quick Launch, you just get more and more monsters to use as well. And I also run the 3 Squid Draw. It's another quick play. You target a Rokket monster you control, destroy it, and if you do draw 2 cards, you can activate 1 Squid Draw per turn, but more draw power definitely does come in handy, and the fact that it destroys the Rokket means that you'll get the special summon off of that card as well. If Rockets only had to be targeted for effects to resolve, it would make this card all that better, since, it would automatically destroy the card, but you gotta go off the draw effect for this, which definitely does help when you need other specific cards from the deck, including Boot Sector Launch, which I also run 3 of. It boosts up all your Rockets, and then it just gives you more special summon options from the hand or graveyard, depending on if your opponent has more monsters than you for the graveyard, or if you have a good amount of Rokket monsters to special summon out to the field from your hand. And then, like I said, that boost of 300 can definitely help with a lot of different Rokket monsters we run, including Magna Rokket, putting them up to 2100 attack. And also now on the ban list is just the 1 of for the Terraforming, but we run 3 Boot Sector Launch, so most of the time we are able to open up with that card at least, even though we have less search for it in the deck. And I also run the 2 Dragon Shrine, just more graveyard setup for a lot of our cards, mostly Destrudo, so we can get that Synchro and easy Dragon special summon play. And for more special summoning, I run the 1 Monster Reborn, just a easy resource for the graveyard to make use of. And I also run the 3 World Legacy Guard Dragon. You activate it, you target 1 level 4 lower dragon in your graveyard and add it to your hand, or special summon it, so you have plenty of options to go with this card for sure. And once per turn, you can target 1 dragon monster you control and move that to another monster zone in your main monster zone. I use that mostly for the Guard Dragons, so I can make use of their special summon, depending on which Guard Dragons I have on the field. And just to go back and forth with the Squib draw power, I run 1 Allure of Darkness. We have plenty of dark monsters in the deck, so if I have the option to need a little bit more draw along with Squib draw, the 1 Allure definitely does come in handy. If you wanted to bump this up at all, you can try mixing around with the Dragon Shrines, or you can take out and mix around with Foolish Burial, but I like the 1 Foolish and the 1 Dragon Shrine at least, since they're each, Foolish is at 1 on the list, and Dragon Shrine is a once per turn, so if you wanted to remove one of the Dragon Shrines for an additional Allure, you can do that, but Foolish and Dragon Shrine both do help for your Dragon Graveyard plays, which then also work well with your World Legacy Guard Dragons. And then for the traps, I run 2 Tactical Exchanger. I had this at 3, dropped it down to 2. You target a face-up monster you control and destroy it, and if you do special summon 1 Rocket monster with a different original name from your deck or graveyard, you can only activate 1 Tactical Exchanger per turn, but just an easy way to shift out through your different Rocket monsters on the field. It's just a good one because then your opponent can also target it and you can respond with it, destroying your card, giving you those extra deck option plays, and also works very well during the end phase also. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra deck. The new card, Borreload Excharge Dragon, just needs 2 level 4 Dark Dragon monsters to make it, so a good amount of the deck, aside from Wyverbuster, to make this card. Neither player can target this Exceed Summon card with monster effects except its own, and once per turn, you can detach 1 Exceed material from this card, then target 1 face-up monster on the field. It loses its 600 attack and defense. Then you can special summon 1 Borrel monster from your graveyard, but banish it during the end phase. Also, you cannot special summon other monsters or attack directly for the rest of this turn, but it's a true powerhouse, being able to get back your Borreload monsters, just needing 2 level 4 darks for a 3,000 attack point monster at that. Definitely is great for the resource summoning and just for the ease that you can summon it out onto the field. And then for some of the Link 2s, I run 1 Booster Dragon, really good with all the different rocket support, 1 Security Dragon for more of the generic plays, 1 Guard Dragon Pisty, and 1 Guard Dragon Elpie. Also 2 Agripane when you can get this card out and have the setup with the other Link arrows. You can get some pretty powerful extra deck monsters out on the field. Also 1 Mini Borrel Dragon. If you wanted to try Triple Burst Dragon, you can try that one out instead for this slot. Also 1 Topologic Trisbana, 1 Borreload Dragon, 1 Borrel Guard Dragon, and 1 Borrel Sword, just for the different options depending on which one you wanted to get out and summon back with X-Charge. Also 1 Topologic Bomber Dragon, and then for the Synchros, I run 1 Black Rose Dragon, I would say just the one that comes in handy the most, and 1 Borreload Savage Dragon. You can make this and you have your Link 4, especially it's a very powerful play to set up. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. Very happy we're finally able to make use of the newest card for the Rocket deck. Can't wait until the structure deck comes out and we get even more support. But until then, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Twig out.